Hey, y'all. Going to stitch a feather up with some leather with you guys. Show you a little bit of the process of how I do things. Getting my thread ready right now. I double knot. And I get it all ready here. And then here's my piece of leather. I'm trying to find my thimble. I have a homemade or a handmade thimble that I made, and it has like a extra thick piece of leather on the inside so I don't get stabbed. And here's one of my turkey feathers. I'm gonna stitch up with you guys real quick. So I start out on my right side. You go through at the very tip here on the edge, and you stab it through. And it just saves you a little bit of your supplies. You're not using so much thread, you're not using so much leather. And you measure it out to where the pieces are flush together, not overlapping or anything. And just set your feather on the inside here, like so. And like I said, flush together, not overlapping. And I'll show you. You just go diagonally back and forth. Okay. You just go back and forth at a diagonal angle. And I've bent plenty of needles doing this, but it always looks good in the end. It really hugs the feather really good. I don't really use any glue or anything with my feathers because if I damage them, I can't replace them. So this is the best way I've taught myself that will hold really good. And it lasts a really, really long time. And it looks pretty. Everybody has their own way of doing their own kind of native work. Everything is taught and passed on, but everybody has their own style and their own way of doing things. So there's no right or wrong way to making your own kind of craft. So I cut a little bit of the edging off so I'm not overlapping towards the end, because the end is always a little bit smaller than the top of the brine or the shaft of the feather. And then I just keep going diagonally. And if you guys want any other tutorials or want any help, you can always just shoot me a message. And you know, I try to answer your questions the best I can and help you get your stuff beaded up. And if you need help locating supplies or beads, I provide a few things on hand here in Washington State. I have thread, size 11 check cut beads, leather, a little bit of furs. So I'd be able to help out with your crafting needs when you need to. And I have a link to our website if you wanted to place more orders for other beads or other sizes. So I can always send you my link. Okay, so we're getting towards the end here of the feather and stitching. And I don't want it to tangle up here. Okay, so we're at the very end here. bent up pretty good. Okay, so now that we're at the end, you see how you can see the end of the feather here? What I do is on the same side that I ended on, I'm going to poke the needle all the way through to the other side and stay on the end of the feather, and that way it just hugs it really, really good because you're pulling the ends tighter together. So you're going to go through both sides here, just like that. And then I pull it, and it's hugging it really good now, as you can see. And now that we got that part, we go back to the end here on the same side you ended on, and you poke it back through to one side of the flap that you're on, that you finished on. And you pull tight, and you can always have your own little ending of how you want to tie it off or whatever. My thread's messing up here. It's bunching up on me. Okay. There we go. And what I do is pull it all the way down, and I just kind of go through a thicker end. Like I said, everybody has their own ways and their own teachings of doing their craft work. And this is mine. I just want to kind of give you a direction of how to stitch leather onto a feather, you know. Sharing a little bit of the knowledge that I acquired, that I taught myself anyways. I don't really have a lot of people that I work with or that I bead with. It's usually just me by myself, which is always easier for most people. They like working alone. Alright, so we got that done. Go to the end, clip it, put your needle back on the magnet, and you burn the end. And my lighter's out. Okay. Burn the end, flatten it, and that's how you stitch leather onto a feather.